welcome to my channel. I am Alex, and as you've seen by the thumbnail, we're back at long last onto that little lathe that I've got lying around, which is buried under there somewhere. The reason it's been on hold for so long is because I've needed somewhere to actually fix it to. This I got very cheap a little while ago. It's under the process of being reorganised or disorganised, along with the whole of the shed. As you can see, putting new shelving up. So this is where I am so far. I've raised the base by 8 inches. I'm going to use that for a little bit of storage underneath as well, or something. I'll be able to stick a load of rubbish under there, even if it's only spiders. This is basically, give or take, around about the same level as the main bench, so it should make working from the lathe a little easier and also a little safer, so that I'm not leaning into it. I've then fitted a support at the back, which I've connected to the other part of the bench, and I've then connected the cabinet to the support. So fingers crossed, next time we see it all, it'll pretty much be finished. Before I can get into any trial fittings or anything like that, the headstock really needs to be cleaned up, so I'll get that done off camera and you'll see what it looks like in a couple of minutes. And the cleaning was going okay until I realised that one of the teeth was missing on this cog. I'm also going to have to look into getting a better sized washer. That's not really going to do. Whilst I'm looking for another similar sized washer, I'm going to need to get another spacer that isn't a nut. While I was taking everything apart looking for spacers and washers that would hopefully help it run a little smoothly, I don't know how I missed this the first time, but I've noticed up there is a crack. There you go. That's going to need repairing. It looks as though somebody did have a repair job on it prior to that, but it's not going to be the same as welding, so I'm going to have to take it apart, clean these brakes up, open this hole up, then bolt it back down and weld it up. So that's everything lined up, and I've chamfered an edge all the way around, so we'll get hopefully a good penetration. I am going to heat up the metal just to make sure I get a better weld to it, because I want to get as much weld in there as deep as possible and make it as strong as possible, so fingers crossed. That's all welded back in place, but I did come across a couple of minor stress fractures. Cut those out and re-welded, etc, etc, and everything fits in place as it should now. The next issue is the thread on these is very minimal. It's just worn out. It's just from years of use and abuse. There's not an awful lot of it either, depth wise, so I'm going to lightly drill out the threads, take the holes down a little bit deeper, maybe down to about 10 mil, then re-tap it with a metric size and fit new Allen bolts all the way around, probably a little bit shorter than this. But I'm also going to have to think about what I'm going to do about this. Half of me thinks, should I just cut it out, get some new material and then weld it back in again? Don't know, but we'll see how that goes. But on with the drilling and the tapping. before I even consider starting to repair this missing tooth on the cog, I'm going to have to do quite a bit of research on YouTube, I reckon, and see what the options are. The next job is going to be this slider, which I think it's a slider, fits underneath there, in between the rails and the actual tailstock itself, but it's, as you can see, it's a make do, isn't it? Let's face it, it's not really going to do. So first things first, take this off, make a template, and then hopefully find some decent metal to cut another one out of. I found this section of 1mm aluminium plate in the other shed and decided to use that. And as you can see, it looks a little bit more professional than the one that came with it. Fits nicely too. This is the clamp that fits underneath the tailstock and holds it roughly in place. As you can see, it's really not very smooth, it's not very level either, so I'm going to go and find a piece of metal and make another bracket. As you can see, slight improvement in quality. I've given them a couple of coats of bluing and then a coat of oil afterwards, so that'll give them a bit of protection. So on to the next problem or problems. And the slide handle is actually threaded anyway, but it was originally fitted with one of these on one side and another nut on the other side, and I think they're probably from the same nut, but that is not level at all, and you can see where it's been cut through with probably a hacksaw. The problem is the handles keep falling off, so ideally what I'm going to have to try and do is source another nut to fit on there and then drill straight through the nut and the threaded bar and probably put a split pin in, so at least that will then retain it in place so it won't keep falling off. As regards the tailstock, which is I'm also having problems with, this falls off at the drop of a hat, basically just unscrews. I'm probably going to have to do the same type of thing, but we'll concentrate on this first. So I'm just going to go and have a quick look through my nut box and see what we've got. I always hang on to all of my old Imperial fittings for this very reason. Just going to stick that in some deoxy rust remover for a couple of hours. The nut is a brilliant fit and the action moves really smoothly, so I know that that's in the right place. Next step is get it punched, get it drilled. So I'll get the nut removed first of all. So I think I've gone pretty much as far as I can with this video at the moment. As you've seen already, I've run into a lot of problems and there's still lots more to deal with. So I will be sorting those out at some point in the not too distant future on another video. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.